linked to the crime now.
Stupid. Okay. Well, that's always fun. Anyway, you were saying?
Oh, yeah, actually, I was in here with my friends, um, and I was inquiring about purchasing something, and I left the money here, and I actually wanted to cancel, and he left it on his desk while I was talking to him, and yeah, he actually bought a ram just yesterday. Um,
There was an axe with Nick's name on it. If he ever finds out about this.
oh well, it's fine.
And you said your name was what?
Maylene.
I'll be right back. And he seems to leave before exiting into that side hallway, closing the door behind him as he does.
Should I follow him? Just a second. Let me roll. Um, even or odd?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes? Okay. I'm gonna follow him.
Are you doing it stealthily?
Yes.
I need a stealth check.
13 plus 1. 14.
Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome back to stream. Twitch did a thing.
Did it?
Or OBS did a thing. I'm not entirely sure at this particular moment.
It changes.
It changes. It varies. Wow. I need to use that dice more often. You said you got a what?
14.
A 14? Well,
I'm
you
gonna
go
cry.
I can't know if it's a good thing or bad thing.
you go to open the door, and as most doors do, you twist the handle and it clicks ever so slightly. And you hear the footsteps stop in the hallway.
Just gonna leave it and walk back. And look at the nearest animal.
Okay. As you peer into this display case, you see. Ooh! That's a good one. In the displays back here towards the actual counter, as I said originally when you all had made your way in, the front seems to be mostly the the everyday display animals that people come in and look at, and then the children are, I want this one, and they grab and go. The animals back here are for those that are looking for animals. You notice that there are more birds, there are more rare feline types, there are more reptiles and snakes. This display that you're looking into seems to be a floor to about just over 8 feet tall glass display with little air notches all throughout. And you notice inside is a very nice looking parrot, or at least parrot like animal. You see, this bird does have the look of a parrot to it. However, the beak, where most parrots would come out and kind of curve more, this one comes out and is larger. It comes out, curves, and the tail of this bird is much longer. It does have bright colors, however, it does not do what most parrots do, where it has the rainbow, the red base, so on and so forth. This one has more of a purplish body, and the tail itself is different shades of purple into blue, into almost like a midnight sky kind of purplish, dark purple, violet. It's a very pretty bird. It's a very pretty bird. However, the door looks to open once again as the half-orc pokes his head back out, looking directly at you. He narrows his eyes.
Yes?
I want a performance check from you. To make it
Come
seem
on,
like you
come
did
on.
literally nothing. You are
15.
trying... 15. You're trying to act natural. Kind of pokes his head out further, looks left and right of the space on either side of the doors, somewhat confused. Nothing, I'll be right back. And he closes the door.
Let's go.
The footsteps are hurried, and it doesn't take him long. However, he does return, and he has what seemed to be nothing in his hands, as he seems somewhat confused. I don't have any envelopes for a Maylene on his desk. However,
Oh,
I am curious. Do you happen to go by May?
no, I don't know. Most people call me Lean, actually.
Hmm. This it does start with M though.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I do have this, and he actually kind of reaches behind, kind of to his pouch that he keeps just to his side, but off behind him, and he opens it and pulls out what seems to be a small black envelope with a white trim. He kind of flips it back and forth, and you notice that it's the same color as the guard's armor from yesterday. He looks at it, and on the front is a very large, beautifully designed M. He holds it out and he says, "This was left for you yesterday, if this is yours by chance."
Yeah, yeah. Can I see it?
He
Just gonna reach out.
hands it out, hands it to you.
Alright. And she's gonna say thank you, and then she's gonna, just, idly walk and open the letter and
Okay.
see what's in it.
Well, opening the letter, you can see on the inside is a very small note. Unfolding this note and looking over the papers, you can see what seems to be a handwritten letter. If this has found its way to your hands, then you have already started your search. I won't be able to help directly. However, since you are helping and not simply trying to disappear, these are different warehouses that we keep animal feed, animal supplies, supplies for the stores, and supply warehouses at the docks where we keep the cargo and animals that are brought in but we are unable to move. This list is very confidential. Keep it on you and protect it with your life. And at the very bottom, you just see a very intricate T, much like the one that matches the note you originally received when you woke up. Behind the note, in the envelope, is another piece of paper. Unfolding it, you notice a list of warehouses, each labeled, and each of these warehouses have a number, the building number next to it, as well as the district that you can find them.
I'm gonna look back to the work, saying thank you, this is perfect. Um, I'll come in tomorrow to see with him if he has what I'm looking for. But thank you for the letter. And she's gonna walk out, read the first one, and she's gonna go to the tavern first. We're gonna go back to the tavern.
Okay. Well, while on your escapades and gaining this letter and information, Dwindle and Odile, you two are currently having breakfast and finishing up. What would you like to do as you have, say, about an hour of free time before May would get back?
You wanna go out of town and start looking for the Beastmaster?
I have other things to do, but I can do that at the same time, I guess.
Really? This is just the best of plans.
Where were you thinking of starting? Because I got other things to do first.
Dwindle's gonna go to the law enforcement building.
What?
Yeah. It was mostly a joke for he's going to leave the town before she gets back. But moving on. Just gonna go look at the guard's house to see if they have any information on Beast.
Oh, that's what you mean. Okay. Well, heading to the nearest guard post of the city, nearest barracks. Let's see. Roll an investigation check to try and find it. And are you willing to
No.
ask other people?
No.
All right.
You gotta love dwarven pride. Or
Hold on.
not pride. Stubbornness.
And Odile is coming along, so if you'd like, one of you can roll at advantage, or Odile can roll her own.
Yeah, I just literally rolled just to make sure I was following.
So, both of you can roll an investigation if you'd like, or one of you can roll.
Wait, investigation? Oh, why don't you just give me advantage, because I have investigation.
Yep. Just straight. Dwindle's just leading.
Got no idea where he going, but he going.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
16.
The blind leading the blind.
Nope. Well, 24.
24, very nice. And is Odile willing to ask for help from people passing by to find the nearest guard post? Nearest barracks?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. Then
Only because Dwindle's right there.
that thematically makes sense then. Well, as you both head out onto the wonderful streets, you find yourself heading in the direction of where Dwindle's going. Dwindle finds it easiest to just track the guards. Obviously, they have to come from somewhere. So, follows the guards mostly to figure out where they're going and have been. And as he does this, Odile stops to ask where the guard barracks would be. And she's pointed in the same direction that Dwindle is going, funny enough, even though he doesn't realize it. So, leading the way, quote unquote, Dwindle is led by the guards towards the guard post, and Odile had already known exactly where it was, kind of gently nudging him to follow another patrol once in a while if they're going in the direction that they needed to go.
No, just one name. Fine.
No. Like, I'm still letting him think he's, leading the way, but I'm...
Shiny armor, just walking, little ball of death.
And it doesn't take long to find the guard barracks. The guard barracks here are in the more southeastern portion of the city, as it seems that it is mostly to help defend against the portion of the city that is actually connected to the rest of eastern Grandiasha. The nearest one being the one that is only about a 20-minute walk from the tavern itself. So, you make your way, and once you get there, you find yourselves before a walled building. This building is separate from others, it seems. However, this building has a wall that kind of goes around it like a fence made of stone, followed by what seems to be a wooden gate at the very front. There are a number of guards just kind of along the wall and patrolling the area. However, you can hear what sounds like metal against metal and grunting, as it seems that there is likely training going on the other side of this wall. You can see the building within this property that it stands above the wall, but this wall is only about 7 feet high. It's more like a fence made of stone. So one could, as Dwindle sits on spit, can actually somewhat see over a little bit. And this building itself is also made of stone. It's an older building nonetheless, but it's a stone building that has windows assorted evenly throughout the building. Through these windows, you can both see that there are guards inside and people. There are balconies on either side of the building. However, they do not seem to be regular balconies. It seems that they are more guard view vantage points, as a guard stands on each one, just kind of looking out and watching the area. However, there are 2 guards positioned at the front wooden gate, one on either side. And as you approach, they do they do acknowledge your existence, but it doesn't seem like they're shooing you away or worried about you getting close to this wall.
Inside I go. With Harry in tow.
She's gonna pause and just look at the building, going.
Well.
And I'm just gonna stare at the guards.
Well, as you attempt to enter, the two guards do stop both of you, curious of who you are, mostly on their face. However, they procedurally, it seems, stop both of you, look to you, and go, "Halt. This is the southeastern Crestia God Post. How can I help you? Why are you requesting entrance to our space? Who are you?"
Dwindle Snow Ranger.
He looks very confused that these two small people have shown up, and one is on a ram, the other with a strange animal in tow.
I'm on Rovan.
Ah, then even better. You're a small person riding an animal ? In tow.
I'm also kind of like ducking my head behind Rovan's head while being behind Spit and Dwindle.
Dwindle Snow Rage of the Raging War Brigade of Flaming Broth. I'm here for to see information.
They both look at you, look at each other. Can I see some insignia or sign?
Show shield. And then, hey, fine. Reaches in the bag and pulls out his badge of Flaming Broth.
Oh. Well, it's wonderful to see that Flammenbroth hasn't just gone extinct, I suppose, considering y'all are so cut off from the rest of the world. Sure. Who's the, who's... What even is that? Who's your friend?
Pixie, I think. Fairy, Pixie. No offense. I forgot. Hit my head a bit too much. But yeah, she is. We really need
As
to.
I'm starting to notice Dwindle's not sure what I am, I just look up the guard and I go, my name's Odile and I'm a fairy. Hi.
Well, if you're a guest of Dwindle's, Snow Ranger,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, I'm his brains. He's bronze, basically, if you can't tell.
Sun hits the moment, armor shines.
Well. Alright. One then opens the gate, and the other leads you both inside. Inside, you can see that there is a path that seems to have been paved in what seems to be little stone blocks that are along the ground towards a set of stairs that go up to another wooden door that actually leads into the building itself. However, on either side, you can see what seems to be a training ground to your left, where you can actually see where there are soldiers of Crestia, guards of Freyant that have been posted here, that are practicing their swordsmanship, a few of them at least, as they just do little duels. That doesn't seem like they're actually trying to hurt each other or actually make contact with each other. It's mostly just hitting blades And on the other side, you can see what seems to be a few that are simply sitting around on these wooden tables that have been set up. Chairs kind of around them, these tables. There's only about 5 of them out here, but it seems to be a little sitting area basically for these people. You do still see multiple guards kind of patrolling, and it seems that that many are at the ready at least, but most of them seem kind of out of it. They're just here. However, as you get to the door, the guard leading you opens it, and on the inside you can see the barracks. There are more guards inside. It seems that most of them are standing around kind of. There's 2 standing off to the side kind of chatting. There are a few that are off to the side in another room through a doorway as you pass it that are going over patrols for the day. You 2 are wanting to talk to the head of the post, right?
Boardmaster or chief, whatever you got, whichever term you guys use.
Well, the head of this post is not our not the general of the city, but he's the head of this sector of the city if you wanting to talk to him at least.
That'll do.
All right. I'm sure that he can get you in contact with the general if you do have more questions. We're all kind of connected, but with Crestia being so out of the way, we don't have many hands that can freely kind of go about. There's enough guards to protect the city. That's about as much as we've got.
Wonderful. Anyone really entered the woods at of late up north?
Are you talking about the expedition teams?
No, the woods, the forest. But yes, they could be useful.
He seems kind of confused as he looks to you for a moment.
We're hunting
Okay.
someone, or better used, something that is a danger to these parts.
Okay. Well, let's get you to the head of the post. He can probably answer your questions. He then leads the 2 of you up a set of stairs, very thin set of stairs. He leads you on one side, and guards come down on the other, and you notice it's only about that big. And Spit had to be left outside because of the size of the
he just
barracks.
hold this.
But he is put in the stables alongside the guards' horses. There are only about 4 or 5 of them left here in the stables. But he is allowed to stay within the stables for the moment. However, you're led upstairs, and the sound of guards is rather prevalent here. However, upstairs it's much quieter. You are then led to a door that is then opened, and the guard stands there holding the door for you as you 2 are allowed in. And inside this room, you see a man. Seems to be. Let's see. Actually,
Question
Grendel.
is the post made out of wood or stone? Like the
What do you
like
mean?
stone flooring or wood flooring?
Wood flooring.
Oh no. I forgot about his spike armor. He's also got a little his leg spikes, if you will. One of
I
them actually hits the ground. That's why he has disadvantage on. Gotta love by spike barbarian armor. I'm just thinking about the how much damage have I caused this entire campaign just by walking?
Well, you have them on your legs rather than the bottom of your feet, thankfully. That helps.
Yeah, but if I lean a bit too back, it kind of it's fun.
But if you'd be so kind as to roll a D100 for me.
This one?
Yes, that'll work.
You do
Yes.
or no? Okay. Push you.
16.
80.
You said what?
16.
16 and
80.
80?
Yep.
Huh. It's very interesting. So, in this room, you find a wood elf sitting behind a desk.
So is an elf. Why is it a big elf? But a
Writing
wood elf.
away. Seemingly doing what seems to be paperwork on something. And behind him stands a rather tall, cow-like, llama-like being, a furbolg.
Yay!
What?
A furbolg.
Yes!
This being has two floppy ears that kind of come down to about their collarbone on either side. Their hair is a mess. There's fur, a very thin layer of fur all over their body. And they have a very well-kept beard, as well as a nose that comes down and kind of looks almost like a cow's nose. And you do notice that there is a bull ring piercing, a septum piercing that it's kind of large, but it's not massive per se. And this being stands about 6.5 feet tall, just kind of standing there in a uniform. It's not armor, but it is a uniform similar to the guard's armor. And this being stands there holding papers, setting a few down, picking some up, and setting them on the bottom of their stack for the wood elf to sign and deal with as he finishes or needs more. And as you enter, this furbolg kind of half smiles, and the wood elf looks up, pokes his eyes up a little bit from his papers before continuing.
The helmet spike.
Before continuing, and you kind of notice him stare for a moment. Then he continues his papers. So, how can I help you?
We are looking for information.
Well, we've probably got it. Let's see if they match your questions.
Wonderful.
He says as he continues to scribble ink on the pages before him, setting them aside as he finishes them.
We just got back from the city of crows, and they had a bit of a lycanthropy problem.
City of crows. You know, they say that there was a disturbance down there. Something to do with a group that was causing issues. We had gotten
Don't know who that group is.
We had gotten a letter from the guards down there. Are you looking for information on the group, or is there something else that you're trying to find?
What I've seen is the leader of Crow, or one of the leader of the guards of Crow. What's his name again? Notes. This is why we take note, people.
Notes are wonderful.
That's Mirage. Jericho. Where is he? I know I lost it. Guesses.
In this group, I'm sure somebody has it written down.
I'm looking.
How did I not write it down?
Well, it was very early in the
I have
game.
Stone Sun, the Goliath, the first NPC pretty much introduced with me here. Where is it? Come on. I got Mira,
I don't have him.
Mirage, General. Crap. I have General, but I never wrote his name after. Oh.
I don't believe anybody asked his name.
I never met him.
That is
And
true.
you know me, I keep asking everybody's name.
That is true. Odile did not meet the head guard of crows, as you all did not meet her. Well, no, she.
I met Mirage.
I met Mira. Like, I briefly saw the general, but that was just him sending me away.
Yeah,
That is
I
true.
drank with the General.
And then when we were leaving, he was too busy throwing up, and May was patting his back.
Yes.
Yeah,
So,
and on the best terms.
so I don't think Dwindle asked his name, because I don't even have it written down here.
That is true. I think it was just a drinking buddy at that point. I don't think
We
anybody...
drank, me and the General. I didn't ever ask his name. How rude of me. High Elf, General of Crows.
The General of Crows.
Yes.
Oh.
Never asked his name, sadly. I should have. Quite rude of me.
Tuscanil.
Tuscanil, thank you.
Tuskaneil. Tuscanil.
Well, Tuscanil, thank you. They hinted at us when we dealt with the few of the lycanthropes. Sadly, we couldn't capture one alive. They're all dead. At least the majority of them in crows are. Apparently, there's someone making them. If it makes any sense. Who is giving out like a dealer. Who's making them more powerful, pretty much in case making the lycanthropes. He was hinted to be over here, in the woods somewhere, and that's why we are here to hunt him down and bring him to justice. Alive, preferably.
Oh. Excuse me. He kind of looks at you, and he's actually paused his writing now as he looks to both of you, somewhat narrow-eyed as he's... Huh.
Just got here yesterday. Any information helps for tracking him down. Anybody's been outside the city that of late in the woods?
So
I heard
you're the
something about
group
an expedition.
that they sent to deal with this.
Aye.
I had heard in the note that some of you were a bit animalistic. I expect the dwarf, I suppose, but
Flaming Broth Brigade.
Are the ram and whatever the other one is, are those part of the group that was sent? Is it just you two that can talk?
Well, we got two more.
Oh, okay. I was very confused for a moment, as you can clearly tell. But if there are more of
This
you, then
happens often for some reason.
A group traveling with a dwarf does not surprise me that a few of them are going to be animalistic or even just animals.
Yeah.
I wouldn't consider any of us animals, but okay.
Ooh.
Nonetheless.
Yeah.
He watches as the extra from earlier has been found by Dwindle. But he kind of slowly nods, and then he sets the paper he was working on aside. He opens his drawer and he pulls out another piece of paper and he looks over it. So it says that there is someone creating these things, and you all had talked to the head guard and explained what you had done for crows, and you're the group that he had let us know about. What you're needing information on is whether or not we've seen this figure that the head guard had told us to keep an eye for.
Or just any strange happenings.
Well, we haven't seen any figure other than, of course, the tourists that rarely come in as it is, but nothing concrete to go off of, and we haven't had any strange happenings yet.
Trail snowed in.
Does anybody live outside of the city besides the nobles?
We've got tanners, we've got farmers, we've got a few of the locals that are just outside the city that come and grab supplies when they need it and otherwise live outside the city. We're not very picky on where people live as long as they have the property rights, but
So I heard from one of your co-workers of a expedition team.
yes,
Are
we
there
have...
any in town?
Odio, roll a D100.
I like this dice. Another 80.
James, roll a D3. You don't have a D3, roll a D4.
I'm like, math. I'm like, I can do it. It's
If you get a 4, subtract 1.
one, so 0.
Well, if you had a 4, subtract 1. But, well, we have one team that's in. The first expedition team. They're... I'm not going to lie, they're not reasonable people, and they're not very helpful, but they are in town, and the expedition teams are the ones that usually go into the frozen wastelands to collect things for the city so that we can return them to Freyant or sell them. It's... They're a problem. They are our problem child of the city.
Hey. So you got yourself a big rig then? Sounds about right. I presume they like going.
They don't. They're actually one of our highest grossing expedition teams, if not the highest grossing. It's just that they are horrible people, in all honesty. I have no other way to say it. They are just horrible people.
Okay. And where would they be staying? Would you know?
They stay towards the north part of the city, easiest to get in and out of the frozen wastelands quickly. Um, they are staying at a building on the edge of on the edge of town, just outside. It used to be a mercenary hideout until we cleared it out for the city's safety, and now they all kind of live there. All of the expedition teams stay there. These teams are only about at most 8 people, just to save space and supplies for when they do go out into the frozen wastelands.
And this group's name is?
This one,
Mm-hmm.
Ice Tooth.
Just stops. How original.
Well, they were the first ones, and they were the ones that got it. So, Ice Tooth Expedition Team. Then we've got, let's see, the other two. If you do happen to run into them, if they've gotten back, you've got the Ice Tooths, or the Ice Tooth. You've got the Snowball, and well, you've got the Frozen Lake. Each of them have their own specialties, their own group. They're all very tight-knit, all of them, but each of the groups tries to stick to their own portion of the house. They're very interesting in their own way, I suppose. But, as I said, Ice Tooth are just horrible people, in my opinion. The leader of that group, it's White Dragonborn.
Mm.
His name is Ice Tooth. And by that, I mean that his family's name is Ice Tooth, and I'm pretty sure that he's just gone by Ice Tooth for most of his life. I'm pretty sure it's due to the fact that Dragonborn, they have that thing where they have a specific thing that's peculiar about them, and the family just kind of takes on that name, or the specific Dragonborn I don't know what it is about Dragonborn, but
they're just very personal about things.
Yeah.
It's actually fairly cute sometimes.
Yep.
As Odd just like starts looking around,
A number
trying
of
not to remember things.
And I'm not rude. I shall make up for my rudeness. You are.
I am the head of this post. You can call me. He's not an important NPC. Jeremy.
Watch me make him important.
Well, he will be Jeremy for the rest of the campaign, nonetheless. My name's rather normal, considering my mother was human and my father was the elf. So, thankfully, I don't have my father's 3 syllables.
That is better that way, though.
Yes. Much.
And you are? No, because the Furbog.
The Furbolg?
I rolled a 19 for intelligence because I didn't think he would know what one was. Apparently he does.
He's got a... Most people have a general idea of what a Furbolg is. It's just they aren't very common. A lot of them stick to the more neutral climates, and there are a few that have been known to live towards the southern part of the continent in the desert cities. But most of them try to stick to the forests in their own little cabins or little gatherings. They're usually seen as almost like gypsies.
Coven, if you will. Yeah.
They're
Grove.
little travelers. But he kind of... Oh. I'm you could call me Chase. I'm.
Paw Patrol. Paw Patrol.
Oh,
That's not what I was thinking.
I'm Chase. I'm the Furbolg. I'm this guy's helper. He says as he kind of thumbs over towards the elf. It's nice to
Yep.
meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Looks for. Do I see any glasses? Small glasses.
No.
Oh yes. Tradition demands.
You can see one
If
eyelid
not, he pops.
actually close slower than the other as he blinks at you.
He really needs this. Yeah. Would you like to share a drink?
I don't drink. I like tea. And by tea, I mean I put a few leaves in my water.
Well, up to you, but this is one of your few opportunities to actually get real flaming pro.
I don't even know what that is. But thanks. I'm glad that you offered.
You, Jamie?
No. I've already been informed as to what that does, and I'm fine. I like my intestines in one place. Thank you, but no. Gods
Not for
no.
me then.
I'm just gonna stare at Dwindle and go,
Take a very, very, very the smallest of sips, because he knows what it does, and this time he knows it's aged. There's a difference.
Then I will say that you have the opportunity to make a con save at advantage.
$15. Better than last time. Better than last time. Stop nodding. Menacingly.
You sit there a moment. Then it hits. Everything spins for a second. You're good. You're not throwing up like last time. You're not absolutely sloshed. But you're pretty fucked up, not gonna lie.
This is wonderful.
Odile, you notice as he immediately almost falls forward as he goes to screw the horn back on without spilling it, and he's just kind of leaning forward, and he just slowly leans forward more until the horn then pokes into the desk, and he's just kind of twisting it there, and then he ends up just kind of stuck to the desk for a second.
I'm just gonna stare.
Much better.
I'm gonna look at the general going, don't worry, I promise I don't drink either. So at least one of us is staying sober.
I might need a drink after this interaction.
I don't blame you. You should see the rest of our group.
I'd rather not. You all...
It's
You go...
dwarf tradition.
You go do whatever it is that you had planned to do with this information, and I hope that it works out perfectly for you. However, for now, are there any other questions that I can help you answer, or anything like that that I can help answer?
Yes. Is there anything you can give us to make it more available for us to search? Because during my little search of the town yesterday, I noticed that there was a gated area that nobody's going into.
Isn't that the nobles' place that everybody tells us to stay
Yes.
away from?
Yes. But who knows what they're hiding over there, too. And plus, you can probably talk to some of the guards over there, too. And they're not going to talk to us if we don't have something showing that they can talk to us. That's all I'm asking.
Right.
I'm not asking for, like, going into people's houses.
Let's go to search warrant.
We're not in that world.
Yes, it is.
And Dwindle, who is very fucked up, just sees a bunch of giants staring at a screen, rolling dice, and just no. The words search warrant just come to mind for some reason. No, but no.
Search hammer.
I will say, roll a persuasion check.
You just already say I failed? I always fail with them. I don't know why. 7. Here's. Here. Thank you. That would be a 6. So yeah, I fail.
He looks to both of you, mostly staring at Dwindle for a moment.
Trying to regain
Then he
composure.
looks at both of you, and he seems to recompose himself as he... Well, sadly, the Haven District is off limits to any but those who live there. It's a safety precaution, as the whole section of the city is nothing but those that can afford it, if you know what I mean. Even the guards there have to take a very specific test and examination, and they have to be... It's such a tiring experience to even be able to work in that area. And then you are forced to live in the barracks there, and you can't leave the barracks at night unless you are patrolling for the evening. I don't think I can help you personally to get into that area with anything I would have give you. But perhaps if the head guard sees it as important or pertinent enough, he may offer you something. The general of Crestia, he's understanding, but he's a person who very much follows the regulations and everything, so if he doesn't allow it, then I certainly can't help you. He's very picky about who goes in there and who's posted there, so...
Fair enough. I thought I would ask.
That's fair. Thank you for asking, and we will... As I said, I'm happy to help as much as I can with whatever I can, but that's something that I don't think I can.
Fair enough. Can you do one thing, though? It's not really tied to this mission or anything. Is that a cat?
That was me.
Oh.
So, I have a desk that's very simple. It has one drawer that comes out, right?
Mm-hmm.
The sides of the drawer are very thin. And on the inside, I have 3 little boxes of different stuff that I have kind of set up to make like a square dice box. And I tossed a dice in it to make a check as a DM. And the dice just absolutely dodged the dice box, but bounced in such a way that it landed perfectly on the side of my drawer. Just to... And you know what's even scarier? The dice landed on a natural 20 as well.
Oh.
I will never roll that well ever again during this campaign.
No, you won't. So what did you just roll for? That you just... Yeah.
Oh no.
That is just
The
beautiful.
assassin.
The elf
That's way too beautiful.
then pauses, and he kind of looks looks over the papers for a moment, and then he pushes some aside, and he picks up another sheet of paper. I actually might be able to help. You had asked about anything weird going on lately, right?
Yes.
Hey.
Are you
Dwindle, stop talking.
No, I got this. Takes a better stance.
Gives a light nudge.
immediately crumples? No. But the elf then kind of looks to you, but do you mean anything to do with plants?
Shirley turns head.
Hold on, I'm thinking.
Vegetables?
Does
What?
what would I roll to see if I know if Odd knows plants? Nature?
Nature.
That would be nature.
Yeah.
Just nature.
Yeah.
Natural? Is it a natural?
There's a beautiful natural 20 followed
Yo.
by... Where are you? A 4, so 24 total. So yes.
Very nice.
So
That makes he's drunk.
Very nice.
Woo! See, this is why I love my dice.
So what are you asking about the nature
Okay.
around Crestia?
So he asked if it might be something that could be plants. So I go through my brain and remember that there is a plant that can cause certain, like, trophic symptoms.
Oh no.
So-
She might get just flat out gets lycanthropy. Horrible.
Not thinking of Wolfsbane though. Mentally, I can't think of the stuff. Possibly that can be attached to it because this person was giving out ointments or something. So plants could possibly be tied to it.
Well, I don't know anything about lycanthrope or lycanthropies or lycanthropy cases within the city, as we have had none. But
Yeah, I've heard.
a few of the tanneries outside of the city have been being attacked by, and I quote from the report, moving trees.
Except, let's go kill the greenies.
Huh.
Axe needs sharpening anyways.
About
Don't you not?
About 3 tanneries have actually been attacked so far in the span of the last few days, and each of them says the same thing. They all live near the edge of the forest because tanning is a very disgusting job, and it is very, very odorous. So, most of them live on the edge of the forest outside of town. They all say that they were attacked, and I quote, by moving trees.
I will definitely go and investigate that because that could be tied. And plus, have you sent any guards out there to help them?
We've sent a few, but we haven't found any traces of anything. They say that after their home and business was attacked, the tree would return to the forest. We're not entirely sure what that means. And
have you been sending guards that know about plant life? How about that?
I'm going to be completely honest with you. There's not a whole lot of plant life to know about around these parts of the continent, as it's a bit too cold for anything to naturally grow.
Yes, but you'll be surprised on what people's hobbies are.
Question: since Flameroff is so close, though, to the Forest of Life, would he have heard anything?
That depends. Roll a d20.
I mean, he's part of the
Add your history.
guards, so. Oh, okay, that's actually really good. I believe that's a 19. 18 plus 1. That's really good for him. Anything intelligence, if it gets up over 15, I'm happy.
Well,
Actually, while drunk.
that's true. Thank you, Odiel.
But I'd be saved.
Sorry.
You're right. You're not poisoned yet, so you're actually fine. Because alcohol doesn't cause a drunk condition. Drunk is considered poisoned, so. But you would know that the Forest of Life itself is very much a massive forest of magic, and everything from living plants to plants that try to eat people, and animals that try to eat plants, and plants that become animals that try to eat people, and animals that start out as like small squirrels that end up being massive man-eating creatures have been known to happen. But it really is just up to the Forest of Life to decide on what it wishes to do with that. You have heard of cases of plants coming to life and moving, however.
Magic.
This might not be magic now, Dwindle. Which direction is the tanneries?
The tanneries are outside the east portion of the city, towards the edge of the forest. The
East.
road isn't very well traveled, so it's not necessarily easy to find, but it's pretty straightforward once you get on it. As long as you stay on it from the east gate, you're fine.
Okay.
We try to keep the paths clean at the very least, so that you get outside the city and towards the tanneries, but after that it's their property. We can't really get on it. And they're spread out along the forest's edge to deal with the wildlife so that they have skins to tan, but
Well, we will definitely investigate that while we're investigating everything else. Oh, back to my favor. Again, not really a part of this mission.
okay.
But can you please talk to whoever does the snow plowing? Because yesterday I had to help a poor Goliath with his snow problem. He was completely buried in his house.
Yep. I know who you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. And yes, I understand he's grumpy and such, but that does not mean you cannot. You guys refuse to dig him out. Look how slow I am. I did it myself yesterday.
Make an
This is
intimidation
magic.
check.
What?
An intimidation check.
Else too.
Donald just chuckling, imagining a small fairy just pushing little tiny rogues. Just. There must be balance.
There's absolutely no intimidation. Like zero, but like it's a literal zero. Like I rolled a nat 1 and then I have a negative 1. So
It's called balance.
like this is why I usually let everybody else do the talking, but no, I gotta go and get him.
We got
Like, let me build things. Stop making me talk.
Well, I will. I will attempt to speak to the city itself, some of the higher ups, to see if we can find any way to help him. He's he's the first resident, in all honesty. One of the first. He's a lot older than you'd think.
Goliaths tend to live a long time,
Mm.
so
Points to himself.
He's nowhere near
And
as
point.
old as you.
I stare at Dwindle and I go, no, no. I've met him. He is definitely older than you. Okay.
I don't know how old that
he,
Goliath
he
is.
he looks over. He's older than 100 and odd years.
Oh yeah, definitely. At least pushing like 2. At
Is it
least.
just is it just me? But aren't Goliaths like humans?
Well, we know that Goliaths are very warring races. They only have such a short recorded lifespan because every single one of them fights to the death.
Yes,
I
the poor stone doesn't seem to have much fight left in him.
That Goliath is something else. I don't know what he does or what he did, but he just sits in his home.
Yep. He likes his peace. He likes his quiet. Do you blame him?
No, but
Considering the things he's probably seen?
It's strange for a Goliath.
It is. That it is.
Magic.
And I met his grandson. Quite nice.
That whole family is weird. But
Nonetheless.
I will be sure to talk to the city about making sure we can help him in some way.
Thank you. That is all I'm asking.
Is there anything else that you two need of me?
Current moment, not me. And I just stare at Dwindle. I don't know.
He's regained a little bit of himself. Thank you, Jeremy, for the information.
Yep.
I think that'd be all.
Alright, I will have the guards escort you out and...
May we come back if we have any more questions? Or if we have information for you?
If necessary, please feel free.
Definitely.
Please keep him out of trouble. I don't need a drunkard case. I already have enough
I'll be
paperwork.
fine.
Yeah, I try to.
If they started.
But believe me, he's not the worst one in our group. Oh.
That does not help.
No, it doesn't.
He then starts to rub his forehead, and he waves you both off, and you hear the door behind you actually open as the guard that had escorted you in is now standing there holding the door for you both. If you need anything else, please feel free to come back and ask your questions. I don't know how much help I can be, though I am happy to help if necessary.
Your help has been great already. Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you, Chase.
Of
Thank
course.
you, Jeremy. Thank you, Chase.
Of course.
We shall tend to your Fiora problem.
The flora?
I can't talk right now. Green problem.
Just stare at Dwindle. I'm gonna take him back to the tavern first. Don't worry.
Is this?
You won't see him back today. At least you shouldn't.
Well, not some child. Stop treating me like that.
I'm not saying you are a child.
Oh, please
leave.
leave.
And Ross, I gotta trade in this aged stuff.
I've already started walking out. I'm not gonna try.
This falls after waves, thanking them.
Yeah. I don't want to get spiked. Thank you.
And with that, the door closes behind you both, and you're heading back to the tavern?
Yeah, I'm gonna get him some coffee.
Okay.
Wolfie?
Well,
What is this?
funny enough, due to the time taken to get into the barracks, chit-chat, and ask questions, as well as the walk, you actually managed to meet up with May as May returns. Both of you kind of meeting at the front door.
Stare at her. And
You
then walk
left?
inside.
Just, you left?
You drunk?
I hear that and I just say, yes.
No, I'm not drunk.
I'm
It's
not.
tradition. We
I'm,
met.
I'm drunk, not you are.
It's tradition. We met. Guard, high-ranking guard. We drink. Always drink. With meat. Tradition.
Alright.
It
Yep.
might be changing liquor, though.
I'm just
Okay.
gonna
Alright,
grab the giant horn on his head and just like ease him into the building.
It's a spike.
Where's our tiefling?
The tiefling is.
No.
No.
The tiefling
Don't
in
do
the
this to
tavern.
me.
Tiefling in the tavern is still enjoying what seems to be another new melody, but it is still a very calm, enjoyable melody that's just kind of lifting up the room a little bit. There are a few new people in the time that you all had left, but it seems that it's mostly just older people that are coming in throughout the day that don't have anything else to do. A few people that seem to be later in the day waking up with their own personal problems and are on their way to work. Whether it be late or not is unknown, but it is only about 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the morning, so it is still early. So, you all
Only
make your
one.
way in.
That's early.
I want a steak.
We'll get you a steak, and I'm still grabbing him by the horn and just bringing him
No,
to the
he's
bar.
loud too. Horny one. I want a steak.
I'm just gonna go up to the. I'm gonna stare at the tiefling.
He's got his eyes closed. He's enjoying himself right now. It seems that he really enjoys himself making his very bustling and very active music, but it seems that he seems very serene and very peaceful in this moment as he's still in the same position, just enjoying light melodies that he's playing.
Time you took a break. I go up to the bar. Please get him a black coffee. And I'm just gonna sit there and I'm gonna start contemplating everything.
Sits loud.
And while you all do that, Nyla, what have you done for the last hour?
I mean, I've been wandering around looking for a jewelry shop.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So, it doesn't take you long, and after about 10-15 minutes, you find yourself face to face with a rather quaint, smaller jewelry shop on the edge of the market district. If you wanted to, you could continue looking and probably find more. However, this is the first one you've come across.
I'll go in.
Okay. Going in, you find that it is a very small, very... There's no really other word I can think of other than quaint for this place, as it is very small, very quaint, very select few items that you can look and peruse. And as you look through these these doors. It's a very small building. It's not very far at all, but you see two display cases, and on the other side of this room that you're in, you see a counter. Behind this counter seems to be a younger human woman, and one of the display cases is being wiped off by a younger human man. It seems that each of these craftsmanships are handmade. However, they don't look to be of extremely high quality or anything fancy. It seems mostly very, not mediocre, but very, what's the word I'm looking for?
Basic?
Very basic, yes. Very basic designs.
Alright, I'm gonna look at it for a little bit to see if one of them approaches me first before I initiate conversation.
Okay. Well, in each of the display cases are a number of, as I said, basic designs. A few of them are simply bands. One of them is a very small sapphire in a very, very beautiful silver band. The silver band itself being that of what looks to be almost like a swirling wave design, and the band itself kind of does that swirl all the way around. The sapphire, the band wraps around the sapphire on either side, like waves, and then the sapphire sits right there in the center of it. There is one that is an emerald. It is a very beautiful square emerald, a rectangle almost, and around it is a golden band that's not very small. It's almost think almost like a class ring, but it's not anything else other than that. It's a very basic square emerald band, and then you've got a few others that are like you've got one that's an opal, and it's a very simple circle that just sits with two smaller ones on either side in the middle of a silver band. And you've got a few like that. They're very basic, very simple, very very elegant, but very it's not something that you'd go to a noble party and be like, "Hey, look at this. I bought this the other day."
Sounds like exactly my kind of jewelry, honestly. Do either of them approach?
You do notice
Okay.
that both of them do have full attention on you for a moment as you're the first to walk in, it seems. At least today. And it seems that they are somewhat happy as you step in, smiles kind of alight on their face, and you see the man stands up and he kind of wipes his hands with the rag, and then he steps back and he looks to the woman who's standing behind the counter, and she just warmly smiles to you and nods her head in acknowledgement that you're here. He then turns back to you and goes, "So, can we help you today?"
Hi. Yeah, I'm wondering if you've ever heard of blood gems?
He looks over to the lady behind the counter, and she just kind of shrugs and shakes her head at him, and he looks back to you, shaking his head lightly. I I don't I don't believe so. Is there is that a is that something that's usually like a type of jewelry or something?
Well, it's a type of gem. It's just really hard to find, so I've been looking around in different shops and seeing if anyone knows where I could find one.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We have no idea what a blood gem is. We if it's red based off the name alone, we've got a few rubies in some of the pieces that if you want to, you can look at those, but we've got no blood gems in any of our works.
That's okay. And Nyla like awkwardly smiles and walks back out.
Have a wonderful day.
You too.
And he goes back to cleaning the display case. You leave. Where would you like to go?
I'll look at some other jewelry shops, but try more.
Okay. Go on ahead and roll an investigation check for me. Actually, let's see. Hold on. Go on ahead and roll 2 investigation checks for me. That'll make things a little easier.
And 14.
An 18 and a 14?
19 and 14.
19 and 14. Okay. Well, taking time to go into each of these jewelry shops, you find it very difficult to find any information on a blood gem. There are a few that have heard of it, but none that seem to be able to afford it. It seems that none of the places around here seem to sell them. Spending time to go to each of these little shops, whether it be mom and pop or otherwise, these different jewelry shops, a few of them have heard. And
Do any of them have recommendations on where to look for something like that?
most of them say that anything expensive or hard to find like that is usually going to be owned by a noble.
But none of them know.
However, you do hear from one of the jewelers that a blood gem was won in an auction in France. And the other was a gift that was given to the queen. The blood gem won at auction is owned by one of the 4 noble families. Specifically, let's see. Specifically, the Farthen family. The same that you had heard are very much into the jewelry here in Crestia. The main jewelry family.
Can any of them point me in the direction of a Farthen shop?
To find the Farthen shop, you would have to Sorry, I flipped to a random note or a random page in my notes. That was interesting. Nonetheless, to find the Farthen family jewelry shop, he actually points you to the market district itself. However, you find yourself directed towards the northwestern portion of the market district, close to the Haven section of the city. The Haven district. The portion closest to where all the money is.
Alright, I'll head in that direction.
Okay. Heading in the direction of the Farthen jewelry shop, you find, after some time, walking and asking around a little bit to figure out where it is exactly, you find a shop known as Farthen's Features. The shop itself is very luxurious, even on the outside. It's well kept, it's clean. You even have somebody cleaning the outside as they sweep or wipe the windows down as you step towards the building. The doors are double, and you notice in the display windows multiple grandiose and beautifully crafted works of metal and jewelry and gemstones and decorations and more. And the front door itself seems to be a set of double doors with glass down the center, and they're very decorated and very beautiful. And on the outside is a small board that just says open.
I'm going in.
Okay. You open the door, and on the inside, it is massive. This place is absolutely grand and grandiose, and you notice that not only do they have display cases that litter the walls themselves, almost like bookshelves, where the rings and necklaces hang and are set in these little holsters. You find in the middle of the room are multiple small display cases on top of these small columns that don't go very high, but you see on top of them are little square glass display cases where they have a small thing holding either a necklace or some kind of ring, or some kind of bracelet, or some kind of anklet, or some sort of decorative accessory of some kind. This whole place is overwhelmingly rich in just its existence. And across the room, down the hall that is made by this very, very nicely made red carpet with gold trim along the edges, stands a counter. And this counter has a very old man with a mustache that comes down to either side of his face. Stops about his jawline. It's very well kept. It's very clean. It's a beautiful platinum white. He's got one monocle, and he has a very well-tailored button-up that's underneath a vest. And this vest and button-up are paired with dress pants, dress shoes. And as he stands there, he then motions outward with his hands, and you see two very beautifully made gloves. Welcome to the Fallen Features.
Thank you.
And then he stands there with his hands back behind his back as he then watches and waits.
I'm wondering, do you know of this thing called a blood gem?
I am not at liberty to speak on the family's affairs.
Okay. I didn't ask, like, if you, about the family's things. I'm just looking. I know that they're really rare, and I've been around a bunch of jewelry shops, and they all said that it's like the place.
I know of them.
Do you have a way to access them if someone's interested in them?
Are you interested in buying them?
I am.
Well, if you're interested in buying them, then I would ask, you know that there are only two in East Grandiasha that we know of, correct?
Yeah.
I can tell you of blood gems, but I cannot tell you where to find them, as that would expose where it is in the family. However, I assume that you already know that it is within the family's ownership if you have found yourself here.
Yes, I have heard that.
What would you like to know?
I mean, I would love to get my hands on one, but I know how incredibly rare they are. Do you have any idea where they come from? Like where these ones were found?
It is unknown as to where blood gems truly form or come from, as most of them, the two that have been found, have come from very different situations.
Do you know where they've come from? I haven't been able to track them back very far.
The Queen's was found deep underground by an expedition team of Freyant, a mining operation somewhere down in the south, one of the desert cities. I believe it was the desert city of Frenzica. The one that was bought at auction and is now in the family's ownership. Was actually found above ground. It was found in the lake in the middle of East Grandiasha. The lake of...
At the bottom of the lake?
Yes. It was found in a stone sticking out of the sand at the very bottom.
Interesting.
It was then placed under Freyant's watch until it was bought by the Farthen family.
And did you say which lake that was? Do you know which lake that was?
The Grand Lake in the middle of East Grandiasha. The Grand Lake of East Grandiasha. If you wish to know the shorter name, many just call it the Unicorn's Horn, as it is shaped much like a horn.
Thank you. This has all been very helpful. Is it alright if I come back later if I have more questions?
I suppose I would prefer if you had come back to buy something, but more people inside makes it look like there are more people to buy, so
And what's your name?
you may call me Frederick.
Frederick. Thank you for your help, Frederick. It's been very good. I might buy something when I come back. I now have more research that I want to do.
Of course. If you have any other questions about jewelry, please feel free to ask, and I can direct you to some that we have out on display, more than likely.
Of course, thank you. She's gonna walk back out. She's gonna walk out.
Okay.
You are back in the city of Crestia.
She's gonna go back to the tavern now.
Okay. Heading back straight to the tavern, it doesn't take long to get back, as it only took you, after finding the original shop and looking around, probably about a total of 45 to 50 minutes. And from where you are, it's going to take about the time it takes for you to get back to the tavern through the market district, as the group is finishing up, sitting down, getting the dwarf to finish his coffee, and each of you seem to have new information. So, you find yourself back at the tavern, the Tiefling's Horn, to the sound of beautiful, calm music that's already being played, though it doesn't seem much more than that, as it doesn't seem anybody is singing along or dancing along. It's just a very calm melody that alights the room and the area around the tavern, as a few people actually do seem to visibly be put into a better mood by listening as they pass by. You find Odile, a half-drunk dwarf, Dwindle, and May, who all seem to be sitting. So,
As soon as I see Nyla, do I notice her? Should I roll to see if I notice her? Are you being sneaky? Are you being sneaky?
do I
as
notice her?
soon as
Is
I
she being sneaky?
as soon as I notice her, I'm going to just get up and go and like mother hen check. Did they get you too? Are you all right? Where the hell have you been? You've been gone all night. Where are? And I'm just gonna like lift up her arm and like make sure she's okay.
Nyla's just staring at her confused.
And then I'm gonna grab her shoulders. They didn't get you too, right?
Who?
Just what happened? Where were you? You were there, and then you weren't. And honestly, I really wasn't there either because you know all that. And you know, what? Where? Okay, settle down. What have you been up to?
I'm just watching this interaction.
And I'm just gonna slowly like drag you back to the bar area.
I was coming to sit with you guys anyway.
Yep.
Well, I found more information.
Awesome. Can I roll to see if anybody's paying attention to what we're talking about?
You can make a perception check.
The tiefling knows everything.
Oh, I'm sure.
The tiefling
Perception
knows all.
16.
16. With a general scan of the room, you can see that nobody's really paying attention to you, per se. A little put off by the sudden jolt of energy from you, May, but other than that, nobody seems to be very bothered in specifically looking to you all and paying more than that attention to you now that you've calmed back down relatively.
Okay. So what happened? Like, what have you been up to?
Well, I found out more about the blood gem. It's definitely the Farthings who have it. I don't know where it is though.
Okay, but how did you get out? Did you just leave me there?
Attached to the sewers.
Oh, it was attached to the sewers?
So
What was down there?
a lot of animals, like monster animals, things that probably should not be sold like that. And I think there was a dragon's egg.
What?
Yeah, I wanted to steal it, but it was really well locked up.
Maybe we shouldn't steal a dragon's egg. I'm sure it's really pretty. Oh, no, we don't need it. Anyways, so you just left the sewer
Uh-huh.
and found more information on blood traps.
Yes,
And that took all night?
sure. I did sleep.
Okay. You slept.
Yes.
In the sewers?
No.
I thought I had a shitty day. Um,
So, wait, what did you do and find?
um, well, I went through the other door. It
Mm-hmm.
was a hallway. There was a situation that happened.
Okay.
I got caught. Just so happened to be the Tarkin family. I thought I was gonna get fed to a cat. Turns out, no, they're not gonna feed me to a cat. I just got us into a whole nother mess. And now we have to find money by kidnapping the owner of the pet shop. And,
Without even looking up from my cup, I say, "What did I say about kidnapping?"
it was a very good idea.
No, it's not.
Well, you get the
Yeah,
gist. It's,
kidnapping might not be a good idea. Sorry, what does the pet owner have to do with money that you have to find
oh,
to pay off the Tarkins? What?
the pet shop owner was actually extorting money from the Tarkin family, and he was really upset about that because apparently I cut off his money when I interrupted them, and now in order to make up that his money, I have to find. Well, technically, accidentally, they might find out that you all are working with me, and now you all are drawn into this situation, and I'm very sorry for that.
I mean, I was already
But
there
What?
anyway. It doesn't really change much for me.
From the sound of things, sounds like you owe us again.
uh,
Oh,
I guess
she
I
owes
do,
us.
yeah. Yeah. Um, anyways, we have to find the money and give it back to Sir Tarkin, and we might get a reward. Just
Might.
The reward of life,
perhaps.
you mean?
No, he,
So,
if we
they're gonna
find it
feed you to the cats
quickly,
if you don't
we
find
might
it?
get a reward. I'm sorry, what
Well,
was
we
that, Nyla?
also have.
So he's still gonna feed you to the cats if you don't find this money?
If we don't find it, yeah, he said he'll make me disappear, and anyone that knows me disappear. That happens to be y'all.
Goodbye. Just walks out now.
Did have a
Dwindle is
really pretty kitty though that I really
I just get up and start following Dwindle out the tavern.
wait.
And while on my way out, I look at Nyla. Please help her. I don't want to be in the lead anymore. I give up.
Wait, I've got information to help us.
Yeah, and we got information ourselves too. Have fun.
All right, Nyla, it's me and you now, buddy.
Okay, so what are we doing about this?
I'm gonna smack the letter on the table. Pull it out of my bag and smack it on the table, the bar. We have to check these places.
Okay, I'm gonna open it up. How many places are on there?
There are about 7 different warehouses listed. each one numbered, and each of them having the building number next to them, as well as the district in which to find them.
All right. Do you want to do this together or divide and conquer? Also, what are we looking for again?
So we're looking for the money he's taken. He wouldn't hide it in plain sight. Gotta be in
Yeah.
some sort of like. I'm thinking maybe it's at the
Like a
dock location.
capsule full of cash or coin?
Maybe coin. Maybe my hands are on like it being at the docks. Maybe he was trying to get it out of here. You know, there's. Huh. I lost my train of thought. I'm so sorry.
I mean, yeah, that seems like a fair way to do it, especially if he knows that someone's trying to kill him or come after him.
He doesn't know we're after him. He has no idea. Frankly, my original idea was to kidnap him and hold him for the money, but as Odd said, it's not a very good idea. Huh?
We already have plenty of things we're looking for. I don't think we need kidnapping on our sheet.
Probably not, no.
Yeah.
As good of an idea as I think it is, it probably isn't. But yeah, we probably should stick together on this one. We seemed how that went last time.
Yeah.
Should we go and check? Did you need to rest? You have been out all night.
I'm good. I slept.
All right. Oh, what was the information you found out, by the way? You said you found out information about the blood gem?
Yeah, I mean, the Farthens have one, and then the Queen has another. I don't know if it's here or if it's in a different town, but those are the two places that they know of.
All right, and we obviously can't kidnap a queen.
Correct.
All right. We'll discuss this after my head is not on a spike. All right. Which one should we go to first? Oh, yeah, I was almost fed to a cat. And it's still on the table.
So you mean after the death threat thing has been resolved?
Yeah, after the death threat. All right. Which one do you think we should go? I got my hands. I think we got our hands on deck. You know, get it? Cause dock. We should go to the docks.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna go to the docks.
I was there yesterday.
What were you doing there yesterday? Never mind. Never mind. All right, and we're gonna head to the docks. At the building that it says.
So everybody's heading to the docks then?
Me and Nyla are.
This group is harder to keep together than most Lego pieces.
Well,
we have a lot of quests right now.
We have a lot of quests. Two, we don't want to be really affiliated with you guys until it's done, if that makes any sense. From a logical standpoint, he's partially drunk, but he's like, I'm not.
I've already mentioned your name at the pet shop. They probably know already.
He doesn't know that, though.
And I've already been trying to stay away from you as much as...
Yeah. He will deny everything. Yeah. To the forest? Where do you want to go? He's just out. He gets sheep and just looks at you.
Okay.
Sober. Where?
Well, do you want to stick together or do you want to split up?
Stick together.
Okay. Well, I personally need to check on a few people, and I need to get another job for today. And then I was thinking of either going into the forests, the tanneries, or going and find the expedition.
Why don't you just go work for a forge? You get paid more.
I've been trying.
Let's go get a quick little job then.
Okay, on our way there, we're gonna stop by and see if Jericho got his beard. So
Aye, money. I really hope this goblin has a beard.
Yeah, I do too.
I really hope this goblin has a beard.
or at least like starting peach fuzz.
Exactly, like it
Something.
shows the sheer power of dwarf beard oil.
That 5 o'clock shadow. So yeah, that's what we're doing. We're gonna go stop by, make sure Jericho's getting his beard, and then we're gonna find a forge so we can get a quick job, and then we'll go from there.
Why don't we just work for Jericho?
He doesn't need us. I tried to work for him yesterday, but he doesn't need us. The only thing he'll have us do at most is shine his weapons and armor. So
Yeah, I could make twice the amount of blades that he can in a single sitting.
I bet you can.
Better
I bet
quality
you can.
too. But of course, then I have to stay because. Yeah.
We're gonna do multiple things today.
Yeah, right.
We got this.
I did a lot.
It's only 10 a.m. We got plenty of time.
Did a lot for a day.
I have a whole list of things that needs to be done.
In all honesty, your group only has really 3 things that are of big concerns.
Mm-hmm.
Peacemaker, Hana, which are hopefully linked, and well, I guess 4 things then. Because people trying to kill John. Them bludge him. We're gonna be in this town for a bit.
Plenty of time for my item to be finished.
Completely up to y'all. Depends on how long y'all want to stay here. Nonetheless, though. So, you said you're going to stop by and see Jericho first?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, you get to Jericho's, and see that little patch of hair right here underneath my bottom lip that just kind of leads into my beard?
Yeah.
That's what he's got.
Just smiles. You look better.
I've got a beard.
I believe you owe me some coin.
Fair. He kind of turns off and he walks off. Comes back, not too long, with a small pouch. Kind of holds it out to you. There you go.
Yep.
Got a beard.
Yeah, you do.
He then smiles and he walks back over to continue with what he was working on in that moment. He goes, "Feel like a true blacksmith now," and he goes to shift the blade he's working on in the coals and everything, and gets it heated up. And as he does, yep, it sparks, and He brings up the blade with a piece of coal, and it just lands right there on his little soul patch, and it's just gone.
Oh no!
Oh, but you're supposed to be traumatizing us, not your
Dwindle's like,
And what's funny is he doesn't seem to realize it happened either. He think it's like down here on his chin, basically, because
we're
he's
going.
one of those goblins that has one of the longer faces, so he's got more chin, and it hits him in the face, and he just goes, that hurt.
I'm just gonna stare at him.
Slowly, just. Well, enjoy smithing for the day. We're going. We're going.
Bye,
We're
Jericho.
going.
And that was weird. 3 streets down, all you hear is, no.
Come on, spit a bit faster.
No, it seems that he doesn't notice, but he did seem to rub it all over his face. So more than likely, based off the fact that he did grow a little bit, it's more than likely that he will grow more. But nonetheless, I've spent a lot of time on Dwindle and Odile today, so we're going to hop over after that wonderful little interaction that I wanted to get in there.
Oh boy.
So, May and Nyla, you two are going to the docks?
Yep.
Okay. So, you head down to the docks, and it's very easy to discern when you've hit the docks as you hear men and women shouting at each other to move the cargo or move as things are being done, and you hear the sound of the waves lapping at the shore. You smell the sea salt, and you can feel the very cold ocean breeze blow in. But you come in to the dock area, and you can see that there is a portion down the docks where there seems to be warehouses of all kinds. And it seems that a lot of the businesses here, as well as the fishermen and all of the people that bring in large amounts of cargo, as well as large amounts of fishing hauls and such, will use these warehouses. You can already see a few of them bringing in cargo into a smaller warehouse off to the side next to one of the docked ships. But it seems that there are multitudes of these warehouses, as well as the rest of the docks itself off to the other direction.
Okay. We're gonna search for the one that is listed. Which number is it?
You have 4 that are listed on this.
Okay. Ready?
However, the numbers do seem to be very close together, so it seems that they're more than likely at least close to each other. And I would like investigation checks.
Ready.
You want to take an advantage from me?
Oh.
I'm letting May take the lead, but I'm helping her out with like investigation.
Okay.
Okay, sweet. Is it 2 and an 18?
2 and an 18. Okay. So,
Nice.
with
Thank
18
goodness.
being the advantage roll, you lead the way, both of you asking questions about the warehouse numbers and where to look. You manage to find your way down the docks, and you find one of the warehouses labeled with a number that's on the sheet of paper that you have. It is locked. and locked up tight. You notice a massive key lock on front
I have
of
thieves'
the
tools.
the door, as well as a smaller lock on the door itself with a combination of what looks to be numbers.
Can I break in?
What is the
I'm gonna break
warehouse
in.
made out of?
Stone.
I want to start picking the lock.
All of these warehouses seem to be made of the same kind of stone.
You got it, Nyla. Let's go. Come on, girl.
So you are attempting to pick locks in the middle of the day on a busy dock?
Oh, can we search around the building? If there's any other entrances?
If you'd like to.
All right, I would like to do that. I think that would be a much better idea.
Alrighty.
What do you think, Nyla?
Alright, I'll wait for a minute.
Alrighty.
Alrighty.
Yep.
Well,
If you don't find anything, I'm breaking in.
well,
I got a 10.
so making your way around the building, because each of these warehouses do have a small alleyway in between each of the buildings to space them out. Basically for property rights, more than likely. As you head between these buildings, you do find in one of the alleys that there is a small side door. However, this door also has one of the combination locks. A small circular, not circular, it's a small rectangle with in between there are 4 rings. These rings each have a number on them, and you see that above or below the number is another number corresponding. At the moment, it reads 4639. Above the 9 is a 1. Below the 9 is an 8. So on and so forth for each of the different lock numbers.
These are some advanced locks. Awesome.
It's really not advanced. It's a little spin thing with a tumbler in it.
Alright, well, I guess I can break into this one instead.
That works. Much more conspicuous.
So this is day, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna keep an eye out as she tries to unlock the door.
All right. Feel free to roll a perception check for me, May.
6 plus 2. I got an 8. Oh no.
Seems clear. Nyla,
Yes.
I would like a sleight of hand.
Grand total of 7.
You fiddle with the lock. There's a lot of numbers.
We try knocking.
You can knock if you'd like.
I was more asking May.
What?
We try knocking?
We can try. I don't think it's a very good idea in case someone's in there. But the way it's locked up, it doesn't seem like anybody's in there, so yeah, we should knock.
Knock.
Knock, knock, knock.
All right. You knock. A moment passes. Another moment passes. You wait a minute, and nothing seems to happen.
Alright, wanna try unlocking it one more time?
Perfect.
Unlocking it one more time? Trying? Okay. Gonna give another perception, make sure nobody's. That was a nat 20. For 22.
Kicks the thing.
What was it?
Huh?
You rolled a what?
Perception. Of anybody around
Ah,
to notice.
no. It's very much clear. It seems that a lot of the
Awesome.
people that would notice are currently working and moving cargo from the
Awesome.
so it seems that they're more busy with their jobs than they are paying attention to what's going on in an alley.
Okay. What you got, Nyla?
What?
What you got for unlocking the door?
We could always go back to the front door and see if that one's easier to pick.
There's a lot of people out there, and I don't think they'd be kind of us trying to pick the lock.
We can
Maybe
tell
we
them
should
we
come
forgot
back
a
later
key.
tonight? That could work. That could work. But what if they know who this belongs to?
Good
I'm
night.
thinking we should come back later at night.
Okay, fine.
Maybe we could check the other places?
Sure.
Okay, we're gonna check the next place on the list.
Interesting.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm having a really hard time talking. Yeah.
That's fine. We're coming up towards the end of the session. I wanted to end off on this.
Right.
You see, as Nyla and May make their way through the list, you actually notice that these warehouses, this one was by itself as it seemed to be the first of the purchased on the list. However, moving down, you notice that the last three are actually side by side. It seems that they were bought either all at the same time as shown on the list, or they just happened to be close enough that when they bought them, they were side by side. However, you continue to do your search for the first two as you did the first. Seems it's all locked up, all very carefully taken care of. Nobody's really working them as they are warehouses rather than actual business portions of the Tarkin's family business. However, the last one actually brings a bit of a change in that. You see, as you go to search this last building, you notice that the front is locked up as it normally would be, like the others. You go to the side door, and you find it appears to be closed until you get up next to it and you realize it's actually held open ever so slightly by a very small brick.
Ooh.
Very small brick of wood.
Huh.
It seems that somebody has left the door open.
Ooh.
Doodly-doo-doo.
And with that, we will doorway into our thank yous, as that was a very fun session for tonight. So, we got a lot done this session. Y'all did a lot, and y'all actually talked a lot as well and interacted with each other. I like that. That was very fun. I always love it when y'all interact, and it's very, very refreshing. So,
We actually had the party together for all of like 30 seconds.
oh yeah, it's wonderful. But I can promise you there will be more reasons to hang around each other here in the future. So,
Once we get more familiarized with each other and start trusting each other.
oh yeah, when you start getting
Yeah, right now there's
familiarized
not
with
really
each other,
trust.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't
Yeah.
help that you came up and, oh, so I got myself into something that might get all of us killed.
You know what? That's just the
Mhm.
daily life with May. Like,
you know what? I feel like everything y'all do is likely to get someone killed as it is.
Yeah.
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 But, nonetheless, thank you all for joining us. And as I said, this was a very fun session, and there was a lot going on with it. And because of that, I will actually have stuff to do this week in creating things. So, that should be fun. However, thank you all for coming. Thank you all for joining in this session and making this session an absolute blast as you usually do. May, we do hope that you get better and that you are no longer sick soon, because that sounds awful.
Yeah. Thank you.
And thank you all for coming out and joining us. We hope to see you all next time on the journey of Grandiasha, as we find out just what it is that Nyla and May have stumbled upon, and if Odile and Dwindle are able to follow up on their living plants thing that seemingly has the Tanners spooked.
Magic, I swear.
Magic.
Magic.
But
Oh, magic.
that is next week's story. Hopefully. So, we hope you all enjoyed and will join us next week. Thank you for joining us in the woods. And remember, follow the fireflies. You never know what kind of stories they may have for you. But from all of us to you, we hope you have a wonderful evening.